What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with the Thursday only 11 MLB and NBA game edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised of our great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Good news to everybody involved. I got a push on -14. I don't know why. In my brain, I thought it was 14.5, but pretty much everybody else got 13.5 because Karl Anthony Towns got downgraded as soon as I woke up in the morning, and I was already tilting about that, and it is what it is. But that was on Tuesday. I'm talking about Wednesday for Thursday. So hopefully that's not too confusing for you here, but we got six NBA games, 5 MLB games. We start in the MLB here on this program. Obviously, it's the new sport in town, the new hipster. And so you're going to go to that one, and then we'll discuss the NBA, where I think there's actually more plays that are viable here. Obviously, you get 5 games in the MLB books, less surface area for them to cover, harder for us to find, to unlock those clues, like Blue's Clues or gotta find another paw print. My dog's actually in the house, so we don't have to worry about that. Hey, Duke, love you. Bet365, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about portfolio EV as well, but I don't really want to dilly-dally too much. This is going to be a quick video. I want to enjoy it while we can because there's going to be a billion games on Friday. Sorry, producer Jacob. He can't wait. Yay. He said I'm number 1. Let's get to the wins. Oh, hello, everyone. Now, there's more in my backdrop. I was like, ooh, I'll experiment and throw the golf bag there. Nobody cares at all. How about some trophies? I hit a golf ball good sometimes. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. We got ourselves the Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles, and I got to tell you, I have time for days to be able to discuss these games, and yet I don't really want to because there's stuff that's waiting in the wings in every single one of these leans. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. First off, when you only have like these limited amount of baseball games, there's some turnover and you might get some weird lineups from each. So keep that in mind. But with Baltimore and Boston, it has more to do with the weather. Now, the weather looks awesome in terms of a hitting environment, winds blowing straight out towards left center field here in Baltimore for this game. But you got 2 gas cans on the mound. Eric, why are we not going to play this over? Because there's about a 50% precipitation risk starting right at first pitch. Like right away early in the morning. So you're going to have to pay very close attention to what's going on there. Now, why does that matter, Eric? Well, you're going to get bullpens. Those aren't as good as some starters. No, bullpens are almost always better than what you're going to get from a starter. Starters eating innings to start off, and especially when you're talking about the starters that we have here in Tanner Houck and Charlie Morton. Tanner Houck, never been my favorite tool in the kitchen. I don't know what that means. 641 expected slugging actually means nothing. But you got Charlie Morton on the tail end of his career. 85.7% hard hit percentage on 14 batted ball events in his debut for Baltimore. Now, he's just been living on borrowed time. That analogy made more sense in Atlanta. And now with Baltimore, I don't expect a whole lot of good things from him, but I need him out there against these Red Sox. And yeah, even if it's Rafael Devers out there striking out a million times, hey, he got a hit today. Woo, let's all throw a celebration. I do want to make sure that we're avoiding bullpens, especially the quality of bullpen that is Baltimore. So over 9, I would bet it if it weren't for the rain falling down, or maybe falling down and waking your dreams. Let it wash away your sanity. Colorado taking on Philly in this one, and another great wind out spot. And the Phillies, they have a ballpark that plays a little bit more wind conducive than even Baltimore's. However, you got to think that the books are going to be on top of it here at Open. We don't have props. They're currently finishing out their game as we speak. But I look at Brandon Marsh, Kyle Schwarber, Max Kepler, Bryce Harper, all 4 lefties in the outfield there. I assume that we're getting all 4 in this lineup, but Kyle Schwarber is going to have the shortest numbers ever because against righties like Antonio Senzatelli, you're never going to get good numbers. Over 101 miles per hour off the bat in that 19 batted ball in effect debut, 935 expected slugging, 935 expected slugging. It's hard to be that bad at throwing baseballs in your debut. And again, it's just one game. You don't want to go nuts. But that was the Tampa Bay Rays. It was not pretty. Yes, it was one of the more hitter-friendly environments there at Steinbrenner Field in that heat and humidity in Florida. But, well, speaking of, Hunter Goodman just hit a home run as I was talking about this game. But Kepler, Harper, Marsh, I think we got a better chance at getting some of those back half of the lineup guys. I always look for value. Again, that's why I didn't end up on Ohtani on Wednesday night, even though he was breaking my model. Maybe he will go yard, probably will, now that I've even said that. Ended up on a lock on the Dodgers side. Hopefully we can get Michael Conforto into the hit, run, RBI column 2 times. Yeah, over 1.5 of those. Anyway, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, the last one on the slate, and it's two southpaws. Nick Lodolo taking on Nestor Cortes, and Cortes, he basically made the torpedo bats things in one day, which is kind of hard to do. Like, it's actually really hard to do. And this isn't a great pitching environment when you go into a dome here in Milwaukee, but I don't expect a 1.121 expected slugging for him, or 30% barrel percentage on 10 batted ball events. He got clobbered. That's going to happen from time to time. And I'll say Nick Lodolo, it's weird to see only one strikeout in his debut, 6 innings of work too. If you told me Nick Lodolo wins 6 innings on opening day, I would have thought 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 strikeouts. That is the kind of stuff he has. That curveball is Chris Sale-esque. I've been saying that for a long time. It's Chris Sale-esque. Now, it's basically a changeup sinker that he's throwing a lot more than that, four-seamer on top of it, which is actually a pitch he throws less as an offering than the sinker. At least he did the first start around. So it's primarily going to have to be something that works against righties. But you get by Churio and Hoskins, and I mean, William Contreras. Can you start getting bat on ball? 30% hard hit to start off. I think he's got a great chance to rack up strikeouts. And Cincy money line, minus 105. They just had the quietest bats ever in those back-to-back games. 1-0 games against Texas. What are we even doing here? Now going on the road to a worse hitter's park than what they play in themselves. However, I just think we can get better value if we wait till tomorrow. So if it's got a plus sign in front of it, go ahead and bet it right now. But are people really going to run to the window to bet against Nestor Cortes? Guess we'll find out. Or bet for Nestor Cortes, because that would send it lower. Anyway, let's get to the actual MLB plays, shall we? 2 of them coming your way now. But first, Portfolio EV, as we transition over to the like department here at MLB. Check out Portfolio EV, where there are going to be a lot more bets than just 2 available in the NBA, the MLB, as well as college basketball coming up for the freaking weekend, baby. We're going to have ourselves some fun and also never talk about that guy ever again. But 7-day free trial down at the link below. When you sign up for Portfolio EV, good things can happen. Like I keep doing this video, and again, it's 7 days free for you to check it out. Plus, once you see the power of this tool, I think you will be enamored. I think you will fall in love. I think you will be making yourself a lot of money here in the long term. And that is really what it comes down to. Expected value betting, market-based approach over with Portfolio EV here at OddsShopper, our crown jewel tool. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks we go. Like section coming your way now in the MLB. To the person who keeps asking, yes, I am caffeinated yet again today. And no, my Minnesota Twins don't completely suck. They won back-to-back against the White Sox. Anyway, they're taking on the Houston Astros and Hunter Brown, and he is very, very good at pitching for our home debut out in, yeah, it's April 3rd. It's going to be freaking cold. Why didn't we build a dome? I don't get it. We used to have the Metrodome. That was fun to go to as a kid because it's like, oh, you're going to this huge marshmallow, and it was enjoyable. Drive 4 hours from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, up there, take the highway up, get to have a nice breakfast. You had Emma Crumbies. It was delicious. Real ones know what I'm talking about, but it is definitely going to be freaking hard to hit a baseball. Wind is slightly blowing out for what it's worth, so if you can get it airborne against either of these guys, Joe Ryan or Hunter Brown, good for you, but Joe Ryan, even though he's an extreme fly ball pitcher, 234 expected batting average in the debut, probably the best of the starters, and he's just peppering the zone with fastballs. 66% usage there, the devil's tool, right off the bat for Joe Ryan. As for Hunter Brown, he's throwing an assortment of stuff, but most of them are plus offerings. Four-seamer, it's okay. Sinkers plus, changes plus, curve is plus, cutter. I've never really seen him throw it all that much. So Hunter Brown, a guy that I went on a pretty big deep dive of, I think we can expect really good things from him yet again this season. You work through some of his numbers from last year. I would say pretty darn good, 3.31 expected ERA. The year before it, 4.27. So he definitely improved drastically, but he's staying healthy. And last year, the big thing, 30.3% hard hit. Now you're putting him in cold weather against my Twins, who are going to strike out a lot here in the middle of this order. I love the under. I think the under is really, really live here. 7.5. It is 7.5 right now, minus 120 at FanDuel. Yeah, it's a little bit more juice heavy. And is that half run really worth it going from 7 to 7.5? I say it is, because 7, 9, 11, those are your numbers you land on the most in baseball. Hashtag math. You don't have tie games. 4-4. You got to keep playing. So if you're keeping track at home, there's a lot of over-under math that goes into these projections for me. It spits it out of the computer, but also my inputs, I feel very confident about. Not a huge Joe Ryan fan, but I'm a fan of him in this spot against a Houston lineup that I don't find all that appealing outside of Alvarez. And, well, there's a couple of guys here and there. Christian Walker, he used to be my boy. We'll see how it goes this time around this year. And Arizona taking on the Yankees. Oh, Yankees are down 4-0, top of the fourth, as I am speaking right now. Just wanted to check in on that one because, well, I've got an RBI bet on Jazz Chisholm, who ended up hitting a single, but nobody was on base because you need that for the whole RBI thing. Or you could just hit a home run. Home run. We got a lot of innings and obviously a 9th inning bump here now that they're down 4-0. People don't value that as much in the live betting lines. You should. You really, really should. Not that books don't know that, but there are times you can snipe some advantageous numbers. But let's talk about this game, shall we? Arizona, New York. It's going over to Seattle. We've got constantly these games with these torpedo bats. I don't care about them. I really, really don't. What I care about is winds blowing out yet again at Yankee Stadium, the smallest confined parameters that we have in all of baseball. And you've got two guys that I do think are going to have issues keeping the ball in the yard. One being Carlos Carrasco, who is not of Major League ilk these days. 614 expected slugging in that first outing. Did keep the ball somewhat on the ground. So good job for him there. Only 11.1% fly ball percentage. That means 1 when there are 9 batted ball events. Look at that. I can do math. As for Merrill Kelly, 27.8% hard hit in his debut. But you go back to last season, 40.9%. If we take a 36-year-old at face value for one start, we're going to have a lot of weirdness show up in the modeling. So I just went to his 2024 data. I gave it the old input. 470 expected slugging is not good. 405 x Wobicon, really not good. I got to be on the over yet again. And yes, 9.5 is a big, hefty little number. And yet I do not care. I do not care at all. We've got some lefties on the Arizona side that are getting utilized. We'll see how it works out tonight on Wednesday night with AJ Puck. You got Joe Mantiply is the only lefty who didn't get back-to-back works. Jalen Beeks, the other guy. I'm doing this off the top of my dome, people. It feels very, very good. But over 9.5, feel good. Went into the bullpen usage. Feel really good about both teams putting up runs on Thursday. Feel good about you guys signing up for Bet365 as we head to the NBA streets. Bet 5, get 150 and bonus bets down at the link below. Before we talk leans, friends, let me talk what states Bet365, damn good fine, I'll sock it to you one more time, is available in. It's Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Illinois, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Spin it like a helicopter. Bet 5, get 150 and bonus bets at the link below. What could be better than that? Well, you just deposit $10 or more at Bet365. You bet $5 or more on anything with minus 500 odds or greater, and you will get yourself $150 in bonus bets, whether it wins or loses. That is the good stuff, friends. Oh, Robin Williams will say, oh, that's the good stuff. It's only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Now I want to go watch Good Will Hunting. But first, the NBA leans. Don't worry, I'll do the NBA likes as well. That'd be weird to just give you these and then leave. Washington plus 13.5. Who is even like, this injury report is out of control. It's absolutely out of control. I don't understand why the NBA is the way that it is, but you know what? We keep winning. I just keep winning in the NBA. So like, should we just keep doing it? Somebody asked me in the comment section below. It was pretty funny, actually. Oh, when did you turn into God? You should just keep track of anything over a long-term sample size. We're just hitting a really good stretch over the course of the last month, and it's showing in the results, and that feels good. But Washington, they have no results. They suck at the game of basketball. They kind of don't even have a way around playing some of these dudes on this back-to-back, so I'm kind of entertained to figure out what they're doing. They're playing Sacramento right now at home. They're about to host Orlando yet again. I don't know who's going to be in or out, and neither do you. All I know is that 13.5 is not something I'm willing to bet with a team that I don't have a pulse for. It's low variance basketball. I think that's why the plus money side, big number, big spread, low pace game. You're kind of, it's Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. One of them has a bad shooting night. You're covering 13.5. Anyway, Milwaukee and the 76ers up next here. 225.5. It was 255.5. I'd put every dollar in my bank account on it. And if they went for 256, I'd probably never get to talk to my wife again. But we've got ourselves a fun situation here. No Damian Lillard still, but like everybody else, it's kind of a known quantity of what we're getting here. AJ Green is questionable. That doesn't matter to me whatsoever. You get more minutes for Kevin Porter Jr. in that scenario. Maybe pay some kind of attention to it for his props, but Gershon Yabusele, questionable entering this one. Yeah, I ended up on the over of 17.5 for Adam Bona. I think he starts regardless of what happens with Yabusele. And I think Ricky Council going to be a worse rebounder out there, but not somebody I'm necessarily all that invested in here. I feel as though the under is the advantageous spot. And yeah, we'll deal with props as they come. Speaking of props, Minnesota Timberwolves, massive favorites going into Brooklyn here. There are a lot of Q tags that we got to pay attention to here. Jalen Wilson. I know that doesn't sound like it matters on the Brooklyn side, but it really matters with Day'Ron Sharpe out and Zaire Williams out for rest, which I thought was kind of an early drop there. I'm waiting for books to drop Drew Tema. South Park people know it is definitely a spot for the Gonzaga, the former Gonzaga guy. He gets stuff done on a floor. In fact, he's had a couple of double-doubles already in his brief NBA stint here with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, is he good at basketball? No. Is he capable on a basketball floor? Yes. Played 25, 29 minutes, then only 21 against Dallas, but that game was competitive. I do not see this game being very competitive here in Brooklyn, and that is leading me on to a potential for garbage time. Look at his points and rebounds, putting them together because of FanDuel, DK recently. Both of them have kind of slouched on their odds when you single game parlay the two together. I was able to get over 8.5 along with over 7.5 on a couple of different guys as I was toying around with it that paid out better than their double-double prop did. If you're getting lower inputs there on both of those, pay close attention to it. I have the time to talk to you through these things. Even Bet365's got a pretty decent interface where you can get better odds piecing them together that way. So if Timmy is sitting sub 10 points, sub 10 rebounds, which I totally expect it would be insane if he didn't looking at my projections, I think there's a way, a path to us getting a little bit of value there. Alrighty, let's get to the actual plays. 3 of them in the NBA streets. Game number 1, Memphis taking on Miami here. My God, Steph Curry eviscerated Memphis. It was crazy to watch. And I will say, Miami currently not getting eviscerated by Boston. They are in Boston being competitive, doing some things, up 54-42 here, heading, 54-43 as soon as I said that. Jason Tatum at the line, knocked down 2. Tatum's only 1 for 7 from the field. They've got Haywood Highsmith out there. If you were watching this game, which I was watching before I'm recording, because I always am, Haywood Highsmith made Jason Tatum his little BITCH. You know what that spells? Not good things that I should say out loud, because I know some of you are around your kids listening to gambling content, and I respect that. But fucking A, man, we got to take the under here. We absolutely have to be on the under. 227, that is ludicrous. I know Memphis has just stole my soul, and I'm really pushing this heater. We are on a heater, and you never walk away from the table when you're on a heater. I said that one yesterday. We're still on a heater, so under 227. I'm going to ride it here. I'm going to roll with it. Memphis, why did you fire Taylor Jenkins? I don't understand. I still haven't heard that, he was like kicking dogs or anything, which, again, I would expect something terrible to come out about Taylor Jenkins, but he seems like an orderly human. John Morant just didn't like him. I don't care. Get good coaching. Also, stop the, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next game. Threw him in the lean column last time. Kind of forgot about him with 48 baseball games going on, but probably should have jammed that spot against Atlanta. Now, it's a little bit worse here for Toronto. Who am I talking about? Well, Portland's finest, the Jewish man himself, Deni Avdija. My God, Israel's finest has been going ham in the old box scores, but it's got a little bit more to do with Anthony Simons, who was out last time. I think I backdoored a nice situation there. Now, you do remove Anthony Simons. It's not just Shaedon Sharpe. They started Delano Banton, who played 28 minutes, put up 11, 7, and 5. Damn good find. 127, 113 slacking of Atlanta there in that spot. I think if Simon sits, they just start Banton again because it went well the first time. Now, it's weird to see a really low spread here, but it does seem as though we're going to get most of Toronto's goodies out here. Now, it's dropped to -1 on the Portland side here at Bet365. I get it. Scotty Barnes will be playing, but there's no Emmanuel Quickly, and that is a big deal. And RJ Barrett, he is sitting there with a Q tag. I know it was rest that he sat out last time, but Toronto is not actively trying to win basketball games. Even with Simons questionable, there's a part of me that thinks Portland, they're just going to ride this Deni Avdija heater, and I don't have any props out yet for it, so I'm kind of blindly stabbing at where this opening number is going to be, 23.5 last time around. How about the 25-plus column for Deni Avdija against Toronto, 226.5 total, looking at the pace of it, and then sharing the floor with Banton. Banton did play a little bit more backseat driver than what I was expecting, but it makes sense when you have a guy who's generally a bench high usage guy who gets inserted into a starting lineup. They're not going to shoot at the same clip. Now, He was still 4 for 15. He wasn't exactly out there not trying to get the ball in the air, but I expect Donny Avdia to eat up tons of usage, especially if we get Simon sitting yet again. And the last play of the night, Golden State and the Lakers, the game we're all looking forward to seeing, and Steph Curry, my God, insane stuff. But now, taking on Luka Doncic and company, and it's a pretty clean game. TNT must be happy. Jonathan Kuminga, the only Q tag currently from either side. We're still waiting on Maxi Kleber to make his debut for the Lakers. Gary Payton still out for the Golden State Warriors, but you're getting Curry, Podziemski, Moody, Butler, Green. That is your starting five for the Warriors. You're getting Luka, Reeves, AR-13, AR-14. I just said that. AR-15. There we go. I had to find the number. AR-15, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. He's been playing serviceable at times. They can go to the small ball lineups where they have Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith at center. I love when we get good matchups here leading into the playoffs, condensed rotations, and the West is stacked in a way where both teams want to win. I repeat, both teams want to win. This will not be lovey-dovey going underneath Steph Curry ball screens like we saw Memphis do the entire time. This is going to be switching and having Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt out there on Steph Curry coverage, doing some things, trying to just get up in his face 28 feet, 30 feet from the freaking basket. Get ready for it. Under 230 and a half. Let's get out of here. Check, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Still caffeinated. And that does it for a quick and easy 11-game edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. 5 plays for you. We're going to have tons of props showing up here. Follow me at Eric Lindquist. Did a prop thread and an abbreviated one here today with 2 MLB props that I was interested in, 2 NBA props that I ended up betting to, both of them, all 4 of them I ended up betting. That's neither here nor there. But Bet365, you want to check that out down below. You want to check out Portfolio EV down below as well. And Lindy 5, if you guys want to check out the Discord, $5. $5 for your first week, less than $1 a day. You don't like it, you're out $5. It'll be okay. But I promise you, you'll enjoy the analysis, you'll enjoy the camaraderie, and most of all, you'll enjoy the winning bets over any long sample size, because that is what we're doing. We'll have the recap coming back for you on Sunday night as well from this video. Obviously, tons of more plays, pick'em cards, and all that goodness at the link below. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets on Thursday.